here at the window. There's some.
But which way is it? I love how a whole bunch of people raised their children while I was being slaughtered, and I want to know where this special group came in 2011, because how dare you try to push me back. You'll pay the price. Now, some people see me living in this, seeming high rise. It's affordable for students and stuff like that. I'm 55, so I shouldn't have to live with students, right? And I rented from these people before, and I myself was in a desperate situation having to move from Florida because of I have piggy cousins and piggy stepfamily people. And certain people passed away, and those people came right in, bowled over everyone. Can you believe, some people look, semi-successful. I'm surprised they even got as far as they got so that they could look good to certain people. But I know they're bad, which is why I distanced myself from people eons ago, hence the stepfamily. I know they're bad. So they play games, and I guess it's like an old tradition for trashy families that try to steal husbands and money, and they push away the biologicals, and biologicals are kind of naive in that department, so they wouldn't know what to do except I can't be around these people because I'm being raped by them, physically and psychologically. Okay? Then we have cousins who are man babies who grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida, and they learned how to put on a show. They're total white trash. And one gets to kind of look good because they live in a duck pond in Gainesville, Florida. And these people wanted to sell the house that my aunt was able to somewhat afford because she had 2 separate husbands, not because of hard work. You see? So we have a lot of trashy people with belongings. I live in a place because I worked my ass off, and it's a little bit of luck there's a lot of hard work that was not luck. I had to create my own luck. Also, during the pandemic, I wound up working for Shift, and once I realized how quickly you could make money back then during the pandemic, I kept raking it in. I'm like, let me keep going. Sun up to sundown, I grabbed the first orders out of the box, and I stayed until the stores closed down. In Florida, no air conditioning in a car that was a total wreckage. The tarp on the roof, the roof fabric all shredded. I looked like a drug person. It was like a Cheech and Chong car. It barely made it. In 100-degree weather in Florida, well, I'm trying to shop for Shift. So that money allowed me to at least qualify to get into an apartment. Can you believe I live in a studio in a building that looks fancy, but get this, it's actually cheaper than most studios. I saw some ghetto studios because I thought I'd have to live in a different section of the city, and they were charging big time, and guess what? They won't approve me because they were too something. Because I rented from Pearl Properties before, they already know who I am. They know I have good character. They know I'm a respectful person. They know that something happened. In fact, they might be part of the reason something started a long time ago. But they knew I had money in the bank account to at least pay rent for like a year. So it's like, well, don't worry. It's the pandemic. They need to fill up their buildings. End of the pandemic, and they need to fill up their buildings. That's how I got there. I actually contacted 3 or 4 other places believing I'd be somewhere else, but I was rejected by them and accepted by Pearl. That's why I'm there. I desperately rather move. I'd rather pay a small mortgage, but I can't figure out how to do that because it's almost like being sort of stuck in someone's grand plan. So I'm in a grand plan, and it's like, I want to go over here. I want to find work over here. and there's roadblocks, blockages. Imagine looking for a job and nothing coming through, or the kibosh is put on, like really bad energy surfaces, so much that you're like, whoa, I'm gonna throw up. That's how much I'm part of someone's grand plan. The thing is, I don't want to be part of their grand plan because they suck. Right, Philadelphia? Somebody needs to pay for what started in 2011. And I'll keep reporting every bad behavior and odd situation, and that's a lot, to the CIA, the FBI, and any agency that's suitable. And I'll keep doing it and doing it. Now, there are people out there who don't necessarily want to be hanging out with someone who does that all the time. All day long, I report to the CIA. I walk around with this camera because guess what? The CIA doesn't even need me to file a report. That's how high level the CIA goes. They don't even need phones. Wake up, idiots. You're always being watched and reported on. So if you're doing something on purpose, intentionally, you could wind up dead within a week, if that's how the CIA decides to handle business. Capiche? Do you understand me? Can you hear me now? You think Sharon's all nice and sweet? I don't think so. I wound up independent on my own because I wasn't easy. No one knocked me up with kids to have to put up with for the rest of my life. I wasn't easy for some guy who wanted to keep breeding for some sort of agenda. That's easy. Hose. I knew it was better, and guess what? I learned something else. Soul advancement, and it might not involve kids. She was smart enough to know that actually higher level soul advancers, see, even copulating and having sex is disgusting. And all these pigs who keep breeding are disgusting. And they never stop breeding. And the whole world just keeps being taken down while they keep breeding. And no one can afford to do anything except for put on a show. Oh. Any body bags lining up soon? Please say yes. Because I need to move on with my life while everybody else thinks that, thinks that smoking pot is cool. We have a bunch of losers, even in the lesbian community. Oh, it's cool. Well, they, for some reason, are still functional. It's not cool. Tammy, Carrie, Melissa, you guys are